Okay, moving next. Our next topic is physical quantities. So all measurable quantities are called physical quantities, such as length, mass, time and temperature. Means all the quantities which you can measure are called physical quantities. Like if I give you a book and ask you that what is the length of the book, then you can easily find the length by using your scale, your meter rod or any other instrument which is used for measuring length. So all the quantities which you can measure, जिन्हें आप नाप सकते हो, पैमाइश कर सकते हो, उन्हें हम कहते हैं physical quantities. So there are two types of physical quantities. Number one is base quantities and number two is derived quantities. So first we will discuss base quantities. Base quantities are the quantities on the basis of which other quantities are expressed. Base means foundation. So base quantities give the foundation for the other physical quantities. So there are some basic quantities, and these basic quantities are called base quantities, and total 7 base quantities are there, and their names are length, mass, time, electric current, temperature, intensity of light and the amount of a substance. Number 2 is derived quantities. So the derived quantities are the quantities which are expressed on the basis of base quantities, जिन्हें हम बेस क्वांटिटी की मदद से एक्सप्रेस करते हैं, बताते हैं, उन्हें कहते हैं derived quantities. For example, girls and boys, you know the formula and quantity of area. In area there are two lengths. So length is a base quantity and we use that base quantity to make a new unit or make a new quantity which is called an area. Then our next topic is unit. So what are units and why scientists need units? So students, if you want to buy a sugar, you have to say to the shopkeeper that I want 2 kg sugar. So number 2 is simply a digit, but the measurement cannot be explained or done by only numbers. So there should be a quantity which describe how much the things we need, and that is called unit. So with the development in the field of science and technology, the need of commonly acceptable system of units are seriously felt. So there is a system which is called International System of Unit. In this system, all the base quantities have fixed base units. So as we discussed that there are two types of physical quantities, in the same way there are two types of units. Number 1, base units. The units which describe base quantities are called base units, and 7 base quantities are length, mass, time, electric current, intensity of light, temperature and amount of substance. So their units are meter, kilometer, second, ampere, candela, Kelvin and mole. All these things are given in the table. You have to learn all these unit symbols which are used for the units and which are used to express the quantity. You have to learn this table. And the number 2 is derived unit. So the units which describe derived quantities are called derived units. As we have discussed the example of area, so the unit of area is meter square. Meter is a base unit, but when we use 2 meters, it becomes meter square, and then it is called a derived unit. Our next topic is prefixes. What are prefixes? Prefixes are some number or a word which we added before a physical quantity. For example, kg. When we use kg, it means kilogram. So kilogram is a prefix which we use before the unit or after the digit. So prefixes are very important because when we are doing calculations, the long digits are very confusing and create problem. So prefixes can shorten the values.